When I was a kid, I was taller than my younger brother. Then all of a sudden he grew a million times taller, and he was the tallest one out of my family. I used to ask my mom, how tall am I going to be? And she would reply to me saying, I might not be as tall as my brothers, but I'll be taller than her. Well, Mom, I'm an adult now, and I'm still several inches shorter than you. Genetics, eh? Hey, welcome back to another Dev Chat video. If you're new here, welcome! These Dev Chats are all about brainstorming and discussing the upcoming life simulation game called Paralives. If you want to learn more about Paralives, I highly recommend checking out their social media accounts, website, and Patreon page. I have the links for all of that and more in the description box. Just as a reminder, these videos aren't about confirming anything. Paralives is in the pre-alpha stage of development, so that means elements and features might be changed, improved, or removed. With that out of the way, let's start discussing, shall we? To begin, we're going to go over all of the building questions. Will plates and other kitchen supplies be white, or will they have designs on them? There will definitely be white versions of everything, since that's something that most players would want, but there might be variations of designs and patterns. Roofing is a beast of its own kind. Honestly, roofing can get so difficult and frustrating. There's many workarounds and things you just can't achieve in The Sims 4. This is a perfect example of an inspiration pick and what the build actually would look like in Sims 4. Alas, roofing is something that the team is working on, so for right now we won't know how in-depth it'll get or what we can create with it. Can players utilize the space underneath the platforms? Yes. You will be able to use the space under platforms to form a room with 2 or more different heights. We've seen the modular objects. Does that mean we can create conversation pits? Yes. It'll be possible. How will my parafolk be different from other paras? Will they have likes and dislikes, habits, or tics? We're gonna have to wait and see how parafolk's personalities will come across. Wouldn't it just be the darn cutest thing if paras could learn recipes from books or magazines? Maybe even online articles. There's been plenty of times where I follow a recipe like that off my phone. I think it would just be the sweetest little thing to see happen with my para in-game. Now, this is something we talked about last week. If you missed that dev chat, click the pop-up at the top right corner of the screen right now. Will paras be able to stop an activity to do another interaction, like hugging someone goodbye, before proceeding to continue their original activity without any help from the player? Last time we talked, it seemed like a fantastic thing, but now it seems like it'll be harder to include. Anna brings up good points like, what if both interactions need both hands? Would your para just leave the craft on the floor or table before hugging? What if there's 10 siblings who are all leaving and they all want hugs? Wouldn't it be annoying for your para to stop their craft, hug, resume the craft, stop their craft, hug, then resume the craft, just to stop their craft to hug again? There's a lot of things to think about for this. How will paras deal with trash? A bottomless garbage bin? Is dealing with virtual trash fun? It depends on the direction the dev team decides to take the game and how in-depth the chores will be. Next, we gotta talk about the music and sound-related questions and answers. This was the first dev chat that Paralives' new composer, Andre, partook in. Therefore, there's a few great questions related to that. Since wild animals won't be featured in the initial launch, will players or our parafolk be able to hear animal noises during the night? Like a wolf howling or owls hooting? Maybe. It seems like it could be interesting in terms of how it affects the para's moodlet. What type of vibe should we expect from the Paralives' soundtrack? You should expect more of a homey vibe that feels emotional. Andre specifically stated that he's been looking into indie, folk, and especially lo-fi, with of course orchestral textures. Nonetheless, the team is still exploring various musical possibilities. I really like the genres he name dropped, so I have a great feeling about the music and soundtrack for Paralives, especially if it's anything like we saw in the Chalet video. Where will the music be coming from? It seems like it'll be a mixture of live musicians as well as digital sources. Custom pronouns in Paralives will be they, them. I love that they're including they, them pronouns in Paralives. I think it's wonderful. The team is still figuring out how the attraction system will work. It's truly a balance act of keeping sexuality fluid with some restrictions in place. It sounds like paras with the they, them pronoun will be considered as both he and she so that they won't be rejected either way. Nevertheless, the attraction system is still being worked on. Will paras have hidden traits? It seems likely. How do you feel about grinding for money to be able to afford the clothes you want or the tattoos you want? Personally, I like the idea, and at the same time, I'm not sure if I would really enjoy it in-game. Maybe if there were only certain purchases that cost paradigms and not all of them. Like Jeremy said, having all the options locked behind purchases could hinder creativity. Although I do like the idea. I'm still getting used to the idea of parafolk with different heights. It'll be crazy to see a family that aren't all the same height. Moreover, it's great that height will be a part of the genetic system. With that being the case, how will height be inherited? This is another example that hasn't been quite decided upon yet, though it does seem like they have a rough idea of how it'll work. So the game will take the height from both parents, or the percentage of the average height, and figure out a random value between the two heights, therefore making it possible for the kid to be taller than the tallest parent or shorter than the shortest one. Which is pretty much what happened in my family. My younger brother is the tallest out of everyone, and I am the shortest out of everyone. So we got a taller person than the tallest parent and a shorter person than the shortest parent. Heyo. Siblings will have different heights rather than being either parent 1's height or parent 2's height. I would love it if the camera could move in Pam. If players were given full control over the camera angle and movement, that would just be a beautiful thing and very helpful. As of right now, it's not planned. What does that mean for the camera in Pam? Will it be fixed? Will the camera in build mode encounter issues where it moves unexpectedly when you're trying to zoom in? Well, the camera in Pam will not be fixed in one spot. You'll be able to rotate around the character. Also, the sway and bounce camera issue is something that Alex wants to avoid in Paralives. I know, you've heard me say this a million times already, but my undying love for the Facebook group Paralives Community hasn't changed. I love being involved in Facebook groups that are centered around interests and hobbies. It's a great way of meeting other fans and a fantastic place to talk about news or speculate about the future. If those are things you enjoy, you should go down to the description box and click the link I've provided for Paralives Community. I will see you there. Since we've gotten the 11-minute chalet video, I feel like the community is really looking to the future and trying to figure out what the next big reveal will be. So, what will it be? What do you think it'll be? Tell me in the comments section. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate all of you, and I hope you're doing great. I'm sending all of y'all good vibes. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!